Hello students. In the previous class we have discussed about the different types of infectious agents, and we have seen that we have discussed about around 5 types of infectious agents, and they were bacteria, fungi, virus, worms and protozoans, and they are causing different types of diseases. And I have given you the homework to write down the names of at least 5 or 2 or 3 different types of microbes and the disease which they cause in our body. I hope that you have done the homework. Now we will think about, and then we will discuss about that why we need to talk about the different types of infectious agents, and why we need to consider the categories of the infectious agents. Okay, like for example, let us see here. There is a question asked in your NCERT, continuation of the same page, that why is it important, second paragraph which is there in your screen, that why is it important that we think of these categories of infectious agents. So why we need to consider the categories of the infectious agents? The answer is very simple. Okay, so if I give you an example of two organisms, say about plants, and then we talk about human beings. So if we talk about what is the process of nutrition in plants and what is the process of nutrition in human beings, so your simple answer will be that human beings or the plants have autotrophic mode of nutrition and human beings have heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So what is the mode of nutrition in plants and human beings? Different. Okay, so like that, these categories of different parasites or pathogens, they are all pathogens. They attack our body and cause the disease, but their mode of attacking is same. If I ask you the question, do they attack in the same way? The answer is no. Do they have same type of processes in their body? Like this is a nutrition is a type of life process. Okay, so life process. So do they have we, like plants and human beings, have different type of nutrition, or we can say they have different type of life processes. They may be similar but they are different. Like that, different organism means we talk about bacteria, we talk about viruses. Okay, so let me write it again: bacteria, viruses, or protozoan, or fungi, or worm. These are the 5 categories which we have seen. Do they have same same type of life processes? Their life processes, the answer is that their life processes can be similar but they are not identical. Like if we talk about bacteria and virus, and if we compare virus with the any other organism, bacteria is living, protozoan like amoeba is living, fungi is also living, worms are also living, but what about viruses? Are they living? No, they are non-living. They are alive, or they live only when they enter into a host. Now, virus can infect bacteria also. Virus can infect protozoan also. Virus can infect worms also. Virus can live inside the body of worms. But the worm cannot live inside virus. Bacteria cannot live inside virus. Protozoan cannot live inside. So you see, these organisms are different from each other because they have different life processes. Okay, now I told you that in autotrophic mode of nutrition, what is the process by which they take food? That is called as photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a type of chemical reaction. Okay, if we talk about human beings, we take the food and then we digest it. means we break down the food into simpler substances, like carbohydrates are broken down into sugar, simple sugar like glucose. So digestion is also a chemical reaction. Photosynthesis is also a chemical reaction. So we see here we have different type of life processes, and in the life processes are actually done because of the various chemical reactions. So those chemical reactions we call it as biochemical activities. So different organisms have different biochemical activities. The way they come into our body, that can be similar. Some may enter through our food, some may enter through our lungs or through air, some enter through drinking water, some enter through the cut portion of the body. Maybe if somebody has a wound, then the bacteria or the virus can enter through that. So they may enter through the similar ways, but when they enter in our body, they work differently. Bacteria work differently than viruses. Viruses work differently than fungi. Fungi work differently than protozoans. Protozoans work differently than worms, and they cause different diseases. If they all are same, and if they all are working in a similar manner, then one medicine is enough for all. Why we are taking different medicines? Why? Because the working of different microorganism is different. I hope you have understood. They have different type of life processes, and the life processes depends upon chemical reaction that we call as biochemical activities. So different categories of organism. The doctor should know the different categories of the organism, so that he should know that which chemical reaction is done by which microorganism and how to stop that. That is why he is giving you different medicines for different infections. If otherwise, it will be very easy. If one medicine, if they have same life processes, then one medicine will work against all the microorganism. But why we have different medicines? Because all the different functions of the microorganisms are different. I hope you understood. Let us see what is given in the NCERT. So the answer is that these categories are important factors in deciding what kind of treatment to use. I told you the doctor gives different treatment for different microorganisms. Members of each one of these groups, virus, bacteria, fungi, worm, protozoans, have many biological characteristics in common, but their biochemical activities common? They may be, but they are not exactly 100 to 100% same. All viruses, for example, live inside host, whereas bacteria very rarely do, because viruses can live outside the host also, but the viruses can live only inside the host. Viruses and bacteria and fungi multiply very quickly, while worms multiply very slowly in comparison. So taxonomically, means categorically, all bacteria are closely related to each other than to viruses. That is why a category is made. So all those organisms which are similar to one bacteria, I mean they are all similar, they are put in one category of bacteria, and they are, that is why different categories are made. That is why classification is done. So classification is done based on the characteristics. So what is classification? The division or make the grouping of organism based on characteristic is called as classification. All those organisms which have same characteristics are put in one group, and all those organisms which have different characteristics, they are put in different groups. Okay, this means that many important life processes are similar in the bacteria group, but are not shared with the virus. Means the life processes of the bacteria will be similar to one bacteria, the life process of one bacteria will be similar to that of another bacteria. But is that similar to virus? No, that is why the category of virus is different. If one plant is doing photosynthesis, the other plant is also doing photosynthesis. So all the different plants are doing photosynthesis for autotrophic nutrition. So like that, all the viruses are similar, and all the bacteria are having same biochemical activities. Okay, same life processes. As a result, drugs that block one of these life processes, means drugs are medicines which we take to kill the bacteria or viruses or any of the microorganism. Generally antibiotics are used against bacteria and fungi. So if the drug is there, if the medicine which we use, if it is blocking one of the life process in one member of the group, means one bacteria is killed by that, is likely to be effective against many other members of the same group. So if one medicine, suppose I am writing here, if one medicine is killing one bacteria, then the same medicine can kill other bacteria also, having the same process, same life process, because bacteria are having similar life processes. But this, will this medicine kill virus? Tell me, can it kill virus? Probably not. It may not be able to kill virus because virus has a different life process. Bacteria have a different life process. I hope you have understood. Let us continue. So, but the same drug will not work against a microbe belonging to a different group. So, that is I have given that if one medicine is working against bacteria, it will work against another bacteria also. But the same medicine will not work against virus, or it will not work against another, say, worm or protozoan or fungi. That is why we have different medicines. Otherwise, it will be very simple for treatment. No need of doctors. One medicine working for all. Okay. So now let us take the example of antibiotics. Now what do antibiotics do? So you write the subheadings: working of antibiotics. Okay. Working of antibiotics. So how do antibiotics work? Okay. Let us take an example of the antibiotic penicillin. Okay, now in 8th class we have already learned that this is the first antibiotic and it was taken out from fungi called as Penicillium notatum. This is the fungi from which this antibiotic is taken out. So what is the antibiotics? Let us first discuss about the antibiotic and then we will discuss about the working of the antibiotics. So if you want, you can write the answer of what is antibiotic. So antibiotics are the chemicals produced by one group of microbes and they work against another group of microbes. Okay, I repeat, antibiotics are the chemicals which are produced by one group of microbes and they work against another group of microbes. And what they do actually, they kill or stop the growth of microbes. That is their main function. So antibiotic is a group of it is a chemical which is produced by one group of microbes and kill or stop the growth of another group of microbe. So for example, if a antibiotic is produced by fungi, antibiotic is produced by fungi, it will kill another group of microbe, that is bacteria. Or if the antibiotic is produced by bacteria, then it will kill fungi. So basically fungi and bacteria both can produce antibiotics and they work against each other. So antibiotic produced by fungi kills bacteria and the bacteria antibiotic kills fungi, kills or stop the growth. Okay, now let us take an example of the first antibiotic. So your homework is to find out the name of the person who has discovered the penicillin, who discovered the first antibiotic penicillin. You write the name of that scientist. You have already studied in class 8th. Okay, now let us continue. So penicillin, what is the work of the penicillin? So penicillin blocks or antibiotic blocks biochemical pathways or activities. Okay, so penicillin blocks biochemical pathways. Which biochemical pathway is blocked by penicillin? So penicillin blocks cell wall formation by bacteria. So bacteria produces cell wall and penicillin is blocking the cell wall formation. Okay, so suppose a bacteria, now bacteria enters human body and then causes the disease. Causes the disease. Now why the disease is caused? Because that bacteria has cell wall. Now what is the use of cell wall? Cell wall is a protective layer. Cell wall is a protective layer and this cell wall protects the bacteria from our immunity, from our white blood cells. So our white blood cells cannot kill that bacteria. Why? Because it has a cell wall. So cell wall is like a protective layer, or we can say kavach. So cell wall is like a kavach which is protecting the bacteria, and our white blood cells cannot kill that bacteria. So what we do? We go to the doctor and doctors give us medicine, antibiotics, say example penicillin. So we take penicillin. So when we have the disease, we go to the doctor and take treatment. So we take antibiotic penicillin. So after the antibiotic, after we take penicillin, what happens? The new bacteria. Now bacteria is reproducing in our body. It is increasing in number. That is why it is able to cause the disease. Now new bacteria will not be able to produce or to form cell wall. Already we have seen what is the function of penicillin. Penicillin blocks the formation of bacteria. Blocks the formation of cell wall by the bacteria. So penicillin will not allow bacteria to form cell wall. So new bacteria will not be able to form cell wall around them. So there will be no cell wall. What will happen? Our white blood cells can kill bacteria easily. So those those bacteria which do not have cell wall can be killed, and then slowly and gradually all the bacteria will be killed. So and the old one bacteria which have cell wall, they will simply die after certain time. All have a lifespan. Bacteria have a short lifespan. So new bacteria will not be able to be live. Why? Because they do not have cell wall. So disease, so we get rid of the, so we get rid of that disease. So our disease is over now. So I hope you understood how the antibiotic work. So antibiotic simply blocks any biochemical pathway, and that pathway is blocked, and then the bacteria cannot form the cell wall. Now the question is, why we are not affected by the same antibiotic? The answer is that we do not produce any cell wall. Our cells does not have any cell wall. So we, our biochemical pathways will not be affected by the antibiotic penicillin, because penicillin is working to block the to block the cell wall formation. Our cells, human being, the cells of human being does not have cell wall. Now the question is, can this antibiotic can work against viruses? What do you think? Can this antibiotic work against viruses? The answer is no. Why? Viruses also do not have cell wall. Viruses also do not have cell wall. They do not even have a cell. We have seen in the first chapter, means first chapter of bio, means fifth chapter of bio, that is uh, the fundamental unit of life. We have already seen that viruses lack any membranes. Viruses have what? Viruses have only protein coat, and inside protein coat plus their either DNA or RNA is the genome. Only two things are there in the viruses: no cell membrane, no cytoplasm, nothing is there, no cell wall also. So viruses also will not be killed by the same antibiotic. So we need to take another medicine to kill the viruses. So that antibiotic penicillin will not work against viruses. So I hope that you have understood that why one antibiotic or why one medicine work against only one type of microbe, why it does not work against any other type of microbe. Okay, now let us see what is given in the NCERT. So as an example, let us take antibiotics. They commonly block biochemical pathways or biochemical activities important for bacteria or for fungi also. Many bacteria, for example, make a cell wall to protect themselves. The antibiotic penicillin blocks the bacterial processes that build the cell wall. As a result, the growing bacteria become unable to make cell walls and die easily. So human cells don't make a cell wall. So penicillin cannot have such an effect on our body. So penicillin have this effect on any bacteria which is using the same process for making cell wall. Similarly, many antibiotics work against many species of bacteria rather than simply work against one, because the same type of bacteria use the same biochemical process to make cell wall. Let us talk about viruses. But viruses do not use these pathways because viruses, I already told you, do not have a cell wall. They do not have even have a cell. How can they have a cell wall? That is the reason why antibiotics do not work against viral infections. If we have a common cold, taking antibiotic does not reduce the severity or duration of the disease. So there is no cure for common cold. Our body itself fight against the viruses and we get rid of the common cold. But during the same time, if the bacterial infection is also along with the common cold or viral cold is there, so taking antibiotics will help. Now this antibiotic will work against only against bacteria, not against viruses. Even then the antibiotic will work against the bacterial part of the infection and not the viral infection. So I hope you have understood that why we have to consider, why the doctor has to consider different categories of these microbes. Okay, so that he can give you a right type of treatment, because all the microbes have different biochemical pathways. I hope this topic is clear. We'll continue this chapter in the next class. Keep making notes. Thank you, students.